So we've got it at about a 4-to-1 ratio. It's already looking really, really gross.
Wow.
This week we solve an engine cooling problem that a lot of boat owners probably don't even know they have. Then we make a rather leisurely 800-mile sail up the mid-Atlantic coast at a blazing speed.
Hi, we're the O'Kellys, and this is our sailboat Clarity. She's been our home in the Caribbean and the east coast of the U.S. for the past 5 years. And now we're getting her ready for some epic adventures further afield.
We got a lot done here in Fort Lauderdale over the last 3 weeks, including some huge progress on a major electrical upgrade that we'll be talking about in the next couple of episodes.
We thought we were ready to go, but our engine was running warm. Lucky for us, we've got the best patrons in the world. Thanks to all of you for making this show possible.
I'll tell you, if you've got unexpected boat repairs, doing it in the company of good people in a beautiful place sure helps.
I get down to my hole.
Get in your hole.
All right, we're trying to diagnose this. I don't want to call it an overheating issue, but it's an overheating issue. When we've got the engine throttled up, the temperature's climbing too high. So we're trying to figure out, why is this engine getting hot? First place to look is the raw water impeller. This is the part of the pump that sucks the seawater up into the engine to the heat exchanger, and it's the heat exchanger that's cooling down the engine with the freshwater system. So, took out the old raw water impeller. I don't know if you can see close. I'd be looking for any missing vanes. These are called vanes. I don't see any creasing, and I don't see any cracking, so this impeller is just fine. I'm gonna replace it anyway, but at least so far, the system looks fine. All right, we got water coming out. Raw water impeller is replaced. Next thing to do is try the barnacle buster on the heat exchanger and see what comes out.
I'm sorry to hear about the overheat. It's never fun. You checked your strainers and all the...
Patrick Leclerc showing up like the superhero that he is. Let us borrow your truck, by the way, the other day.
It's my pleasure.
And now, with our little overheating issue, one of the first people to respond on the old social media.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, overheating issue. I know something about that.
No, I think he
Just a little bit.
He texted us as we were coming in the engine like at 7 in the morning.
It's a simple solution the way we do it, so you don't have to tear anything apart, you know, so it takes, saves you a lot of time and money, basically.
Cool. Track ecological. It's not just about the water flow.
Right. What happens is basically the calcium hinders the heat transfer. So they say that 1/64 of an inch of calcium buildup on copper nickel on your heat exchanger will basically equivalent to about 10 to 15% efficiency loss on heat transfer itself. So it doesn't take a lot.
Oh.
Now you think of your heat exchanger and all the tubes that you have, and you have that buildup in there. That's a lot of accumulation that you have over the years.
Mind blown again. We got an audience today. What does the gallery say?
The gallery says, wow. So this is pretty cool. Basically, instead of having to call a diesel mechanic, you can actually flush your own engines, air conditioning, or generators. So yeah, so you basically have your supply here that's going to push through your intake of your system. Then you connect the return line back over here, and you just create a loop and basically flush it in a circle like that.
I'm kind of excited to do this.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little gross, but it's a little bit like popping a zit. Like, I just want this out. Satisfying, right?
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much.
No worries, my pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Awesome. Let's bust some barnacles.
All right, so we're just hooking up our Porto Flush Junior. This is how we're going to administer the drug to the Yanmar engine. It's an IV for the engine. It's not quite a drip system, it's a circulation system. So we're gonna figure out, first of all, how much water to put in here, and that will inform us as to how much barnacle buster to put in here. It's about a 4-to-1 ratio. And we're expecting this water to turn a nasty, nasty color. So we got the GoPro set up. We'll document it. You can see the water is already turning a really nasty, nasty color. So we're gonna let this circulate for about 2 to 4 hours and we should be good. It's already looking really, really gross.
Wow.
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Let's go check in on our experiment. Water's looking very, very green.
All right, this is the port engine. Looks like it needed a little top treatment.
A little barnacle busting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the rains have arrived in South Florida. The thunderstorms have turned on and it's been pouring on and off today. Nick is just doing a final flush, reverse flush on the barnacle buster, and the rains just opened up on it. I should say on him. I feel so bad for him. How's it going?
We shall see.
You're the man.
I don't know about that.
Sounds good.
I mean, I don't really see any change in the actual amount of flow. But I never really noticed that it had diminished either.
You having fun yet?
I ran the engines up pretty good at the dock, but there's really no substitute for testing them out in the open ocean. So that's where we're headed. Let's see if these engines can stay cool.
Well done on our departure there. Didn't know for sure if we're gonna spin it right in place or we were gonna back out, but
Well done, Cap.
it became pretty obvious, yeah.
I didn't even need the rover.
The rover, the roving fender was not needed. Yeah, that's officially that inlet is 120 feet wide, but you know, when you're looking straight ahead or right behind, it looks so much closer. It looks like we had about 10 feet on each end, but the truth is we had 25, 30 feet on each end. So much gratitude and appreciation to Ann and Mike for letting us use their dock.
We had just the best time getting to know them and being at their beautiful house and dock. I said to Nick, this is probably the nicest dock we'll ever stay at, with the nicest people. So we are just waiting for the bridge to open, and we've got 4 bridges to go through, and then we are headed north to Lake Worth. We're going to test out the engines and make a little bit of progress northbound.
You know, we haven't run up the engines yet, but even now I can tell that the starboard engine is running a little bit cooler than it was before. So, you know, we'll put the hammer down, we'll test it out, but we'll do that in the open ocean.
That was a rough goodbye.
Yeah, our temperatures are all way better. I mean, the engine's at least not getting warm or too hot. So it looks like a barnacle buster did
The barnacle buster solved our overheating problem. And after it worked so well for us, we reached out to Track Ecological, now part of Drew Marine, maker of Barnacle Buster, to see if they'd like to sponsor this video. We'd like to thank Track for their commitment to ecological solutions and for supporting this channel. Well done, guys, and thanks again for helping us get back underway. And the clock has ticked down. We just don't have the time left in the season to get down to Panama. So we're going north.
Well, we bugged out, as you say. Yeah, we're just gonna head up to Lake Worth. Hopefully we can anchor near the inlet. I can get in the water and clean the bottom a little bit. We've been in some high growth area for a month now, so the bottom is probably a little gross. So go take care of that, and then we should be underway tomorrow, northbound.
West Palm and Lake Worth is an interesting spot. It's a big open anchorage and a really convenient stopping point for folks heading north or south. Also a big container and cruise ship port, so there's always lots of activity. We met the young couple fixing up this boat a couple of years ago when we were coming through here. We actually gave them our old dinghy.
Couple hours out of Lake Worth, and we're just flying along consistently in the low 11s, 11.4 right now, 14 knots of true wind. Of course, there's a big catch, right? We're in the Gulf Stream, so we got a tailwind. It's at least 3 or 4 knots, so yeah, we're moving along pretty good. How you doing?
Good. I'm just posting on our Facebook group.
Oh, cool.
It's so nice. I like this spot.
All right, now this is going to sound a little bit like a commercial, but I'm telling you, this is not sponsored at all. Beanbags have been the greatest addition here for us in terms of comfort aboard the boat. You can set these things anywhere. They mold to your body, they mold to the boat, and we just find that it's so much more relaxing underway to have the beanbags. Pick up a beanbag if you can, or a couple.
Well, it is middle of the night on night 1, and it's been nice to see the speed in the 9s and even 10s. We got about 110 miles until we start to turn towards the northeast. So far, a couple raindrops, but I really can't even call them showers. It's a dark night though. Got mostly cloudy skies and no moon, so there's not much to see out here. Just some jellyfish sparkling out in the water. Well, it's morning of day 2. Fairly uneventful night. We did have a squall come sweeping through and had to do a last-second reef job. Winds have gone pretty light. Kind of annoyingly light. You can hear the sails sliding around. May have to motor a bit here. But the sun's peeking up over the horizon, and the skies are partly cloudy. Kind of pretty.
Oh, what a mellow morning. I slept really good through the night, off and on. Nick got me up so that he could sleep, and now he's getting a good rest. So hopefully he can sleep for hours. We've got about 65 miles before we can make our turn towards the Cape Hatteras area, and pretty mellow downwind. We're going 7.4 in 12 knots of wind, pretty much dead down, and we got the Gulf Stream pushing us because we're really going 3.8. And we just have the jib out, so it's pretty mellow and warm. Water temperature is 82, and I bet you it's 82 degrees out. So it's a nice day. I'm gonna make a little oops, hard-boiled scrambled egg wrap with a little cheddar, jalapeno, and sour cream.
Well, coming to the end of day 2 here, and we are still rocking and rolling in the Gulf Stream. Conditions are actually really nice. We've got south wind, about 12 knots, and with the Gulf Stream push, we're doing 9.1. Not bad. Getting lonely out here. We saw 1 or 2 tankers today, that's it. We've got about 300 miles to Cape Hatteras, and then about another 130 miles to get up to Chesapeake. So still got a ways to go, but it's a lovely ride. Oh, we're coming up on midnight. I think we're about 80 miles offshore, 90 miles offshore in the Gulf Stream, and it is really rough. I almost flew across the cockpit just going to get the camera just now. But the Gulf Stream is just winding and bending out here in all these different directions. You got different swells coming through, and it's a washing machine. I've had to slow the boat way down. Got double reef main and just to scrap a jib out. It's just too rough otherwise. Just the boat is getting thrown all over the place. All right, after having crossed the Gulf Stream, I don't know, a dozen times at least, and having ridden it thousands of miles, I got a couple tips for you. It seems like the roughest swells, the roughest, most confused seas are on the periphery of the Gulf Stream. Right down the center, it seems to be a little bit smoother. But if you find yourself on the edge, like I did this night, it gets pretty rough and confused. All right, back to it. Thankfully, things settled down overnight.
The seas are a little bit lumpy, so the wind is rolling out of the sail a little bit. But it was kind of hectic last night at times. The Gulf Stream was very choppy. I feel like we're getting settled into a routine. It takes a while to get your body acclimated to the movement. Nick is down sleeping. I like this dawn period because I got a good rest in the night, and basically we just figure out how much time we need, and I'll come up on my own and relieve him, or he'll come wake me up when he needs a break. But I'm definitely getting a lot more sleep than he is, which I'm not complaining about. But We're definitely losing our wind. We got about 9 or 10 knots from almost dead downwind. So we just have the jib up and we're going like 5, 7, 6 knots. It's pretty mellow out and the forecast is good for rounding Hatteras.
So what's it like cooking underway?
Gotta do it. And I want something a little different than just eggs. I want some flavor.
Coming up on the O'Kellys, we round Cape Hatteras with a few friends.
All right, it's a bit of a problem. It's thick, it's in islands, big clumps, and it's getting wrapped up in our propeller.
But I think we need like 4 more beanbags.
If we built a boat, we'd have no settees.
No, just
beanbags.
Totally.
Why would you?
Yeah.
And we finally make it into the Chesapeake Bay, where we're going to do some more boat work.